question I've been getting asked a bunch lately since the Epoch of Pain came out is, yo Abdo, who's your first rank 4 champion going to be in each class? And honestly, I just haven't thought about it that much. So let's go ahead and talk about it now. Hey! Might seem strange, but I really just haven't thought about it too much. The first rank 4 champion that I'm going to have on my account is going to come from a random gem crystal, right? And so I just didn't really want to focus in too much on exactly one class or like get my hopes up or anything for who I wanted. But since I am going to be completing the Epoch of Pain tonight, if you see this video before it comes out, I'll be doing it in a couple hours. Hopefully 7:30, 8 o'clock ish Pacific time. Daylight savings time today too. Get rid of daylight savings time, please. Anyways, so yeah, I'll be getting it done tonight. So I figured, hey, before I get around to that stream, since people had been asking for my thoughts on which champions I wanted to rank up, figured I could just do that in a quick video before the stream starts. So my main thoughts about it in general relate to Battlegrounds, because most of my thinking in this game relates to Battlegrounds. That's the game mode I enjoy the most. I'm sure it'll get an update one of these years. And so the champion that I take up is going to be, it's going to be important whether or not I can actually play that champion or not. If I only have one rank 4 champion on my account or in my Battlegrounds deck, they're going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? You're going to notice them. They're going to be at the top of that deck. So I don't really want that champion to be a champion who only has offensive utility. Like say over here in the skill class, I would love to rank up Black Cat. She would be so much fun as a rank 4 champion. Just kill anything that bleeds really quickly, sabotage, etc. You know who Black Cat is. Super fun, but she really just doesn't have any defensive value, and I'd be afraid she'd get banned all the time. And I don't blame anybody else who wants to just rank up their favorite champion or a meme champion or do what, it's your account, you do with it what you want, and that's totally fine. But my way of thinking is I actually want to play with this character in the game mode that I like the best, or the most rather, and if I take up a character like Black Cat, she's probably going to get banned most of the time, because I don't think she's going to be a common rank up either. So I think that's also another factor that you have to factor in when thinking about it this way, is how often is your champion going to get banned because of them being an uncommon champion too. Now, some uncommon champions are not going to get banned probably because they're going to be underrated. So like Mole Man here would be a fun rank 4, I think, because he probably wouldn't get banned tons, or maybe not as much as he would if he was like someone who wasn't so underrated. But overall, Mole Man, some defensive utility, not a ton, great on offense, not the best. I feel like he's a little underrated, so he might sneak by, but he's still probably going to get banned most of the time. The other option you could do, besides like a two-way champion like Mole Man or a straight-up attacker like Black Cat, is a straight-up defender. So a Tuma or Korg, for example. Now, both of them have some offensive uses if you get trapped in a situation where you just have to use them, or if you're doing some kind of questing content or something like that. Tuma, they both have, counter evade and can do some decent damage over time when, you get into a fight and stuff. But for Battlegrounds, they're mostly going to be just a defensive champion. I'm going to lean more towards just defensive than I would just offensive, because there's some champions like Korg who are just a pain in the butt to fight. And I don't think that he would be my first rank 4 champion in the skill class. But if I didn't have to fight any more Korgs, wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. I would totally be happy if my opponents were banning him, because that would mean I didn't have to fight him. That said, the champion I think I would go with, if we just start out here with the skill class, would have to be Bullseye. Bullseye, I still get my butt kicked by all the time. Zode give me a hard time lately saying that Bullseye is a great onslaught counter in the right hands, because I've died embarrassingly using onslaught to fight Bullseye a couple times lately. Just very embarrassing. But hey, he's a really tough champion to fight, even though I have good counters for him now, even though I know what I'm doing because I've played against him a ton of times. Still very easy to screw up, still takes a lot of damage. A rank 4 Bullseye is going to be probably a champion who's going to get banned a lot, but other people are going to have rank 4 Bullseyes, so maybe in those cases they don't. Either way, I'm either going to get to put him down on defense, maybe use him in a pinch in an offensive situation, because he's not bad on offense. He just doesn't have the quickest or most damage compared to some other champions. And if he gets banned, sweet, then I don't have to fight Bullseye anymore. So I think for the skill class, I would definitely go Bullseye. He's just about the only clear rank up I have. The next class we'll look at the science class, and here I have a couple of clear choices. Papa Luke would be so much fun for the memes, but I just don't, I can't, I want to actually fight with him. And even though he's very underrated, and I think people might not ban him for that reason, I think people would still see a rank 4 champion and be like, I'm banning him just because. So the champions I'm looking at here to choose between for the science class would be between Photon and Spider-Ham. Ham would be great. I would love him. I think that Photon would be the one I'd have to go with just because, you know, she has plenty of good counters that you can get to, but she's just one of the most annoying champions to fight in tons and tons of metas, and she's very good on offense. Spider-Ham, I think, is a little better on offense, but he can also be extremely annoying on defense, too. Out of the two of them, I think Photon would be the one I'd rather fight against less, going by that same principle. So I think Photon would probably be my rank up here. It'd be deciding between the two of them, though. Hulk and Titania, great champions, great on offense, some defensive utility from both of them. I think Photon and Spider-Ham are much clearer choices, though, so it'd be choosing between one of the two of them. The other consideration for something like this, too, is, well, my Photon is already max Sig, and Luke Cage isn't, or Hulk or Titania or Spider-Ham aren't. And then how much do you want that first rank 4 to play into your prestige? My alliance is not one that focuses very heavily on prestige. We do get like top 50-ish rewards for Alliance Quest every week, somewhere around there. But it's not like, as long as I don't fall too far behind, it's not the end of the world. If I chose a champion who wasn't already at max Sig and wasn't a champion who needed their signature level that much, like Hulk or Luke Cage or Titania, then it's like, how does that factor into your decision-making process about, do you give them all your Sig Stones until they're max rank, or do you continue to give your Sig Stones to Photon, who benefits more from it and has good prestige? So I think that is definitely a factor to take into account. All right, moving right along to the Mutant class. The obvious one here is Onslaught. A lot of people are going to rank up Onslaught, so a lot of people are not going to ban him. He's a great two-way champion, still extremely annoying to fight. Good counters now, Jack and Prowler, Bastion coming out soon. Yeah, that's a factor, but he would still probably be the one I'd most lean toward. But also, kind of want to do Domino. Just kind of want to be toxic and be like, screw you, Simula. I love Simula, by the way. Don't. But just he hates Domino, so it'd be fun just for that. Domino is extremely annoying, and sometimes she is much faster on attack than someone like Onslaught can be. It just depends on the meta. I love using her offensively and sneaking her in when people don't expect me to. I don't know who would get banned more. Probably Domino, because she's going to be a less common rank up. But I would probably be choosing between the two of them. Somebody like Sinister would also be very good, but Sinister is like one of my main counters for Bullseye. I tend to use him offensively more than I do putting him down on defense. Same counters for Onslaught, like Jack and Prowler counter Mr. Sinister, but he also has, I feel, more counters in those champions who don't crit, like say Shocker or Canada land guy Guardian. So I would probably not take him to rank 3. Cosmic class, I think it's a pretty clear choice in this one between the Snurpant and Deathless Thanos. The champions already have ranked up there. Cersei, Vox, Medusa, and Venom I think would be super fun for that damage. Medusa with some defensive utility. Cersei obviously has some defensive utility, but I think it's got to be between Serpent and Thanos. Of the two of them, I would rather fight Serpent less, but I also like using Deathless Thanos more on offense. And since they're kind of similar in those regards, where they're both kind of annoying defenders and they're both pretty good on offense, I think I would go with the one I like to play more. Serpent, I think, better prestige, right? But I think I'd have to go with the champion I want to play more, and that would be Deathless Thanos. So I think that's where I would go in that class. Other options would be interesting, but probably would be between the two of them. I'd have to think about it a little bit, but probably Deathless Thanos. Tech, I think, is a really tough one. Sentinel is an obvious choice because he is a great two-way champion. He can be very annoying to fight against, and he can do pretty good things on offense, like say for those Sinisters or Dust, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind not fighting against him, and I wouldn't also mind not getting to use him too much. I wouldn't mind either, so I think he'd probably go up for that reason. Prowler or Jack-o'-lantern, I don't want to get them banned. I want them a rank below until I have more rank 4 champions so they don't get banned. I want to be able to use them for sure. They are faster or stronger counters than Sentinel is to the Mutant class for the most part. or just other all-around champions that I think they're all around a little bit better on attack. So I do not want to get them banned. Ultron would be interesting. Shocker. Warlock would be interesting. I'd have to awaken him. I do have a tech gem still. Red Skull, I think it's probably Sentinel in this class, but I would definitely think on that one, probably more than any other class for a little while. This one, the Mystic here, Jugs would be fun. Who wouldn't want to play with bigger Jugs? I mean, that just seems like a good idea. Currently, I think either Kushala or Kindred is getting all my Sig Stones. I don't remember. They would be great as well, but I don't really hate fighting Kindred that much. I think what I would go with here would be America Chavez. I think she's a really good 2A champion too. You get caught with that L2 unblockable, she can just annihilate you. She just wants to throw heavies, back you up in the corner. She can be very annoying. She's not the toughest defender ever, but in certain metas, she's terrible. And in almost every meta, she's a very, very good attacker. She might get banned a lot too, but I don't know. I think a lot of people right now are going with Shathra there as their rank 4 Mystic champion because she does have really good prestige. I have a Mystic gem. I could awaken her, take her up for prestige, but I mean, I already have 2 other champions I definitely want to give my Mystic Sig Stones to, and maybe generic Sig Stones to, in Kushala or Kindred. I don't want to start from 0 at Shathra until there's a reason to, and I just think it would be America would be the way to go. I probably would Sig her up just for prestige, being my only rank 4 champion, but even if I didn't, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Maybe she wouldn't get noticed in the deck quite as much if she wasn't sigged up too. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'll go with there. So I guess there's a couple of classes where I have a pretty clear choice, and then some other classes where I got to think about it quite a lot. But that will do it for this video. Like I said, I am going to be completing the Epoch of Pain here in a couple of hours. So if you are around, please do swing by the stream. I'll be streaming here on YouTube and over on Twitch, which is a thing we do now. So if you're not already subscribed to my Twitch channel or following it or whatever it is on Twitch, please do that. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, obviously, please subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. If you tell me about who your rank 4 champion was, tell me about what champions you might want to rank up and what your thoughts are on it, that kind of stuff. And hopefully I'll catch you here on the live stream in a couple hours if you're seeing this video when it comes out, or if you're seeing this video later on, well, then you'll already know who my rank 4 champion is, because I'll release that as a separate video too. So I will see you guys in a new video or a live stream here sometime soon. Cheers.